A very, very warm good evening. Welcome back. This is Chaudhary. You are on my channel, Arun Foot, and it's another Indian football discussion on this Monday evening, the 11th of November, 2024. Welcome back, guys. And let's speak about Indian football, the things that are happening, that are not happening. Calicut, to start off with, have won the Super League Kerala. There are injury concerns for the Indian national team with Anirudh Thapa and Vikram Pratap Singh missing from Manolo Marquez's squad. Thoiba Singh, interestingly, has been called up as a replacement. Interesting, not Pitea, who I thought would be an option. And we'll also see what further happens in the Indian Super League as such. And it's an interesting scenario with all that has been said, done over the last few weeks, and therefore leave me your thoughts and comments behind, and we will discuss those things. And to me is all of those, as always, interesting to talk about and discuss. And sorry, there it is. So therefore, throw me your questions, throw me your points, and again, let's talk about Indian football as always. Those of you who might be watching it later on deferred, do leave a like, do leave a share behind, and subscribe to the channel. Arun Foot here, 1,920 subscribers at the moment. Thank you all for that. And yeah, sorry, I couldn't make a notification earlier that I am going to be coming live because of due to other commitments, and therefore that was not possible. But I hope we will have another great discussion on Indian football. The ISL is on a break with the Indian national team now set to play in the coming days. The match India is going to take on Malaysia on the 18th of November. Next Monday is the game, so that's when India has its next encounter. And further, the ISL restarts next week, Saturday, right? Next Saturday, the ISL will restart with a double header, and therefore will be interesting. But I said, Super League Kerala, I said Calicut FC are the first ever champions, and under head coach Ian Gillen, Bibi Thomas as the assistant. And if I look at the squad, interesting. Abdul Haku, Gani Nikam are there. Tijo Joseph, Thoi Singh, Brito PM, Jackson Das, some of the players who are known in Indian circles. Kervin Spelford from Haiti has been an ISL player as well. So those are the first ever champions of the Super League Kerala, and I guess other people will be able to say more and talk more about what is the status of the league after season one. I've read a few reports which were, in my opinion, a little too positive. I don't know, I might be wrong, but my feeling was they were a little too positive about what's happening in the Kerala Super League. And from that perspective, maybe someone amongst you, should say, has some more insights and wants to speak about it. Meanwhile, the Indian national team is gathered in Hyderabad, and they're getting ready for their international assignments, or assignment, I should rather say, because India is set to face Malaysia next Monday in a FIFA friendly. India only playing one game. Again, we've spoken about this quite a number of times now here on this channel, and will be interesting to see how we do against Malaysia, because that's going to be a good test for Manolo and his boys, and will be interesting to see what happens. And if I think the main question to me is can India do a turnaround? Can India really utilize this window and really turn things around, and really, can our team showcase itself in such a way that we are getting better? Are we improving? Those are the basic things that I wanna see. Does Manolo does he know his starting 11? That's going to be an interesting one. I feel also does Manolo have a set team and say, listen, these are the players that I believe in, that I trust in, that I want to play. Does he have that, or does he still have to build that? Therefore, for me, that's going to be an interesting one for Manolo. Can he build really a first 11, or is he, is he going to be putting out another experimental team to sort of do his additions and subtractions from that? As we realize in this window, injuries are part and parcel of the game at the moment. So therefore, again, I said Anirudh Thapa got injured yesterday for Mohun Bagan, and Vikram Pratap also missing, who didn't play on Saturday for Mumbai City. So these guys are not in the squad. Two players who can be influential for the Indian national team. I think that will be the challenge, to try and find the right setup. I mean, as I always like to say, I have been making those those daily videos on these topics. Did a video 4 days ago asking the question, will Manolo play his best 11, or will he test players? Someone even asked on the channel or under the video, is like, might he actually do a trial and error, and might put out a mixed team of seasoned pros and some new players? Could do that. Again, that's up to him. But if you ask me, my gut feeling is with someone like Manolo, who's a little bit more conservative in his approach, I don't see him taking that much risk. You've seen that he's made changes in the first window when he called up the team. He made changes in the second window when players came up, and he's also now made changes in the third window that he's coaching. Only friendlies. I think last month, we lost the opportunity to play 2 matches, only playing Vietnam, and then of course also now this window we're only playing Malaysia. So therefore, it's interesting, and then we'll see in which pot we will be as the Indian national team, and in the qualifiers for the AFC Asian Cup 2027, and that's going to be then the next challenge in regard to how are we prepared, how well are we prepared for the qualifiers. And does Manolo actually have a set 11? I don't think he still has. I think it's still a little bit of a trial and error. I think there will be 5, 6, maybe 7 players where he says that could be my starting lineup, and then trying to find solutions to the other positions. That's going to be the challenge, I guess, for him to try and figure out who do I play in which positions, and therefore that's the most difficult part for someone like Manolo. It's like, who do I play? Who do I not play? Who do I bring in? Who do I risk? And that will be interesting to see for the Indian national team. Just let me go back to the squad announced last week. If you haven't heard it, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, Amrinder Singh, Vishal Keth. Those are the 3 keepers. Let me know, guys, in the comments. I don't know if there's a problem with the chat, because I'm not seeing any comments from you guys. I hope there is no problem. That you can so therefore if should it be Gurpreet starting? Should it be trying out Vishal? That could be an option. And then when we look at defense, if you look at defense, Akash Angwan, Anwar Ali, Ashish Rai, Chingman Sana, Singh, Valpuya, Mehtab Singh, Rahul Beke, Roshan Naurem, and Sandesh Jingan. That's the defense. Will be interesting to see. Does he again play a 3-man backline as he did against Vietnam? Does he play a 4-man backline? Does he go to a 4-2-3-1, which seems to be, or 4-3-3, which seems to be his preferred formations? So that would be that. And Banjub, I've seen your question. I will come to that. Just once more going through the midfielders. Anirudh Thapa, of course, was on the list. He's no longer there. Brandon Fernandes, Jigson Singh, Jitin Emes, Apuya Ralte, Liston Colasso, Suresh Wangjam, and Vibin Mohanan. Thoiba Singh has been added to that list. Edmund Lavridika, Irfan Yadwad, Farooq Chaudhary, Lalinswala Chanke, Manvir Singh, and Vikram Pratap Singh were the strikers. Vikram, of course, also out of the squad. So he's got 25 players to choose from. 2 players will be out of that list. So that's the situation as it stands. I said Thapa has been replaced by Thoiba. So therefore, let's wait and see what happens. Hi, Banjob. Will a win against Malaysia be a good step for Manolo? Banjob, I think it would not only be a good step for Manolo, but I think it would be a good step for the whole Indian national team. This team has not won in quite some time. So therefore, in my opinion, a win for the Indian national team would be a big, big step, a big, big positive step for the Indian national team, because at the moment, I think we're struggling a little bit here and there because we haven't been, we haven't gotten the results. The Igor Stimac has not won since last year, and on the other side, Manolo came in and he's not won matches, be it in September in the Intercontinental Cup or against Vietnam. So from that perspective, at least some will say we scored a goal, if that's a big aim. But I think for me, I would take a win against Malaysia. If you ask me, I think it's going to be important, and if we can get a win against Malaysia, that would be good, a good ending to the year, and I think we can take a little bit more positives into next year. I think that's going to be the challenge. I think taking more positives into 2025 is something which I would hope for. Hi, Ishan. What's your expectation of Irfan Yadwat? Also, there are a lot of players who are playing in abroad leagues having Indian passport. Kabir Nath. Why are they not calling them international? Ishan, I remember I first saw Irfan Yadwat in Goa. I watched a match, but he didn't spring to mind in the Goa Pro League. I then saw him for Bangalore United. He did impress in that second division league, as the I-League 2 used to be called in those days, and moved last year, of course, from Bangalore United to Chennai FC. He's made quite a jump. Has something in him. Is a player with potential, but has to prove that he has that potential, right? So for me, that's going to be the question. I'm not sure if he's going to get game time, if he's even going to be picked in that final 23. That depends on Manolo. Could be, might not be. So therefore, I'm not getting too much carried away from that fact. So therefore, for me, that's that. And players playing abroad with an Indian passport, be it Kabir or others, the question is, what level are they playing, right? Are they of the level to be playing national team? I remember people were talking about Som Kumar. He needs to be here, needs to be there. Some people even wanted to call him up to the national team. And Som Kumar, to me, as I've said multiple times, very talented goalkeeper, but he's not the finished product. So therefore, he's at the moment playing for the Blasters, but it could be XYZ, another goalkeeper playing in his position, but he's not the finished product. I would have liked someone like Som to stay another 2 years in Europe, maybe stay in Slovenia, get yourself ready for bigger things. And that's something with him. And again, I wouldn't know any other players who even could be, should be, would be getting close to the national team. I said last year, Jay Gupta, when he came in, he impressed people in the ISL, but I said he was not of international level. He was not of a level to play Indian national team. Sadly, he's proven me right. And therefore, that's the challenge, I think, with these kind of players, because again, playing lower level in Europe, which is semi-pro, even amateur to some extent, then coming to India and then playing potentially ISL, or then also maybe playing at the level you're playing and then playing international football. That step is even higher. So that's the challenge, I think, that these players have, and therefore let them convince, let them play, in those leagues, and then let's see if any of these players actually can make a difference for us. Player to watch out. I guess it's the usual suspects, right? I mean, whoever's the keeper, we'll be looking out for. Farooq Chaudhary surprised me last month, I have to say, that he came on, scored a goal and impressed. Irfan was just mentioned. Irfan Yadwat could be, if he gets chance, let's see. Alinjwala Changte needs to step up in the national team, I think. Interesting to see if Sandesh comes back. And yeah, do Jitin or do Jitin MS or do Vibin Mohanan get some game time? That would be also some interesting things for me to see. Thapa, Vikram out, Thoiber in, thoughts. Mahesh, I spoke about it. Yeah, Thapa, Vikram injured. Thoiber, I'm a little surprised. I didn't realize that Thoiber was being discussed in and around the national team. I thought that Putea would be more, but I think Thoiber gives you something potentially in midfield, but also in defense. Yeah. So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see if he actually gets into that final squad. At the moment, he's going to be there for the week to train with the national team. I think that's already good for him. Let's wait and see, and then we'll see who's going to be in the final 23, and then from that we can talk about who's going to be in the squad. Nikhil Prabhu, deserving player. Sarath, Nikhil has done well, yes, but is Nikhil Prabhu national team material? I don't even know. If I look at Punjab FC, maybe even Vinit Rai might be more deserving than Nikhil Prabhu, and therefore, I don't think he's ready for international football. I would wish he is in the future. I wish him, but let's see. Don't you think players have made horrible decisions in transfers? Irfan went to Chennai. Is he under someone like Owen who believed in him? But Ishan chose Gavasasi over Kash East Bengal, where Demi Pepra were there. Ishan, yeah. You've put forward Ishan Pandita. I think is one of many players. Irfan again, yes, has needed time, and so therefore for me, Ishan needs to play. Yeah. Therefore that's the reality. So horrible decisions is, do you know beforehand that your decision might not be right? That's and that's the challenge that the players have. They may have to make decisions on their careers, for their careers, and have to make the right decisions. So again, that wasn't right. What's your prediction on lineup? Sarath, we're 1 week away. Let's see. Let's hear the coach in the press interactions. Too early to say what kind of lineup Manolo will choose. It's a conversation for the weekend. Bunch of his South team are playing good opponent this November. FIFA friendly, Sri Lanka versus Yemen and Philippines, Nepal versus Tajikistan and Afghanistan, Bangladesh versus Maldives. Yeah, those are good sides to play for these respective South Asian nations. Hi Kumar, you are mentioning consistency in Indian players. The main reason for this is Indian players who are not even playing 25 to 30 games in their youth. How can you expect them to perform consistently every season? Kumar, to me, what you've done in your youth is one thing. What is the standard of your play is also a question of the quality of the player, the focus of the player, and the willingness of the player to do what is needed. So therefore, from that advantage, from that vantage point, I think that it's something that can be looked at or discussed in some sort of formal way. But I wouldn't, because to me, whoever is playing at professional level, he or she, if we're talking about female players, they need to be up to the mark. And our players in the past didn't have all of this. Again, they had less exposure. These players are getting much exposure across levels. Might not be playing that many matches at youth. I mean, some of these younger guys never played proper football at youth. They just went out and played. And that's missing. That is missing to me. And therefore, these players need to do more. Do you think some ISL clubs get undue advantages on the field, and on the other side, some clubs such as Kerala, Blasters, East Bengal, Northeast United, etc., are mostly get affected by the bad referee decisions? Harush, I don't think so. I think it is, certain people wanna build and construct things, or wanna defend their sides, and to me, again, we want to talk about the that Sunil free kick, the referee did the right thing. We want to talk about the red cards that East Bengal got. Those were red cards. I mean, if anyone is arguing them, sorry guys, you're on your wrong trip. Again, look at the discussion we're having again, and people want VR. That's why I did a video on VR. If you haven't watched it, do watch it, where I asked the question is VR needed in Indian football? And the simple answer to me is yes. But we see the discussion here in Germany, a big topic. I guess in Spain it will be a big topic as well, where Hansi Flick is saying, hey, listen, Robert Lewandowski yesterday wasn't offside. And again, was the line right? Was the line wrong? Again, crazy stuff. So if people think that VR, and that's my point that I make in this longer video, that I say if VR is the thing that you will think will save our football, I think our discussions will just move from one end to another end. So to me, I don't think that, and this so-called bias, because then I can go back to Saturday and say, hey, you know what? If Mumbai City is a little lucky, Din Puya does two bookable offenses against Chante. In the second one, he doesn't get a card, so he normally gets sent off. And then Mumbai City theoretically have a man advantage. Didn't happen. And I've got many instances like this, so therefore, I don't think there is something. Sometimes, yes, I think in every match there are situations where you say, referee could be giving cards out. Ahmed Jahu yesterday, for example. But I don't think there is a bias. And whoever says this bias, sorry guys, you're on the wrong trip. Why can't Chobe resign? Shomit, he can, so he can, but if he doesn't, it's up to him, right? It's not for me or for you to say anything on when someone should resign or needs to resign. The referee decision is not correct, Sarat. It isn't. That's the point. It's not always correct, so that's the reality. And Shumit, I told you what I told you. You guys want to go on and on and on. And Harish Kundu, I think that's what makes Oscar stand out compared to certain club officials. Ask the question to Nanda Kumar. Ask the question to Mahesh. Ask those two guys what they did on the field. Both of them. If I was there, if I was involved in the club, I would actually have a serious word with them about their behavior on the field, rather than pointing and blaming the referee. Stop blaming the referee. If your own team does wrong things, go and do, So what are your thoughts on Lord Harish Kundu? His biases were clear for a certain team. If East Bengal deserves 2 red cards, then why the pen was not given? 2 yellow cards for Kasam Bora not given. Football United, was it a pen? 100%? We can have a discussion. Yellow cards, yeah. Again, I've got every match. There is one or the other occasion where I say yellow cards could be given here. But on those 2 occasions, if you're saying if East Bengal deserved, remove the if. Sorry. Nanda Kumar is a red. It's not even red. I don't know what color comes after red. He was trying to injure his opponent. That was his only intention. It was not to whack him. Listen, he knew what he was doing. And Mahesh was just irresponsible, in my opinion. But people are not willing to accept that. This is something which people need to accept, that kind of behavior is not acceptable. And therefore, I commend what Oscar said in the post-match, in the interview on television. He was very, very clear on that point, because that behavior is not acceptable. AIFF saying VR is going to be introduced from next season, yet another drama, even though they know it's not possible. Why give hope to fans? Mahesh, they're not giving hopes to. They just want to get out of the discussion and say, hey, you know what we're doing in next season. Who is asking the question? Is anyone following up and asking the question to the All India Football Federation? How do you intend to install and get VR started? Is any of your referees, we are in November 2024, is any referee at the moment in VR, Indian referee in VR training, so that VR could be started on the 1st of June when the Indian season starts? Or are you going to be using VR, let's say in July, August, whenever the Durand Cup happens? Let's say Kolkata is one of the venues, VR is installed. Are you going to be using that? So therefore, we are in the situation that the AIFF is talking about it. Again, as I said, if you want, watch my longer video, my shorter video, where I speak about VR, where I clearly say, listen, you will need a whole year planning in advance to be able to install VR, because it's a question of technology. Who is going to put in the money? Who is going to train the referees? Who's going to get the infrastructure ready, right? And if, for example, Northeast United is thinking of playing at 2 venues, which they're going to do this season, playing in Guwahati and then going to Shillong, Does Northeast have to pick up the tabs for 2 venues? So that's the question. We don't even know if there is something. If FSDL will continue, if the ISL raises next season, why will someone then invest into a VR system? Because it will be at the end of the day on the clubs, right? Or now the players in Japan almost 400 or more games before stepping into senior football. Yeah, Kumar. Yeah. So therefore, it's something. Shumit, I'm not being biased. If I was biased, then I would say other things. You please wake up from this thing that the referee is impacting one club. I think it's a general problem across the league, right? And if you cannot start, so let's see. Bad refereeing impacting all clubs, even no yellow card to Ahmed Jahu impacting Mohun Bagan. We don't get 2 penalties. East Bengal as Mohun Bagan fan. Again, where do 2 penalties against East Bengal come from? I didn't see 2 penalties for Mohun Bagan in the derby, and I was at the ground. So therefore, again, your perception, prove it. If it is, fine. So therefore, to me, what I've seen up to about 4 or 5 days ago, referees was better, or much, much better than in earlier seasons. And the biggest blunder was Kerala against Hyderabad. 100%. The Blasters can say that. Penalty given, which wasn't a penalty, and they didn't get a penalty on the other end. Other penalties, again, if you want to say that 50-50 penalties are penalties, sorry, then you don't know the rules of the game. That's the laws of the game. Any update on I-League? Punjab starting on the 22nd. That's the update that I have at the moment. No, nothing more, nothing less. What is your opinion? Is ISL better than Saudi League or any other Asian leagues? Subhash, just to compare our league with the Saudi League we're not even anywhere close to the Saudi League, to the Japanese League, to the Qatar League, to the South Korean League, to the Chinese Super League, to the leagues in the ASEAN region, other leagues in the Middle East. We are way down that pecking order. We're nowhere close to those leagues. What do you think about Edmund? Also, why Manolo is not preferring someone like Jacob? They gave him game time last year and Jay played well. I also think Yasser will eventually come into the team. Edmund talented. I remember I saw him at BFC with the reserves. And I remember I was commentator for a derby in the I-League. He came and played for East Bengal and broke his leg in that match. I think he even scored, if I wasn't wrong. So it was quite impressive. And Jay Gupta simply... he's got Sandesh back, and Akash Sangwan is a better left back. So again, as I've said, Jay Gupta to me is not a player who I think should be in the national team. So therefore, Jay Gupta will have to fight for his place, and I think it's not easy for him. It's now a big challenge, a big task for him, but he has to prove himself. Thoughts on Man City's recent perform? Shomo, simple. They're missing Rodri and have had other injuries. Some of the results are a little unlucky here and there, but that's football. And they will have to fight themselves, work themselves way out. Pep Guardiola is experienced enough. The team is experienced enough, and let's see. Liverpool are cruising at the moment. I'm willing to see if they can, let's see what happens. Arne Slot, done brilliantly. So that's going to be the challenge. Semi-VR, which was introduced in 2002 FIFA World Cup, I think it was costing a normal VR, which will end the offside line drawing probably. Who says that? The offline offside drawing problem is a La Liga thing. They don't even use the online technology. No, Sarad, I'm not from Mumbai. My parents are originally from Kolkata, but I'm based in Germany. How Ranchi can be a hot seat of 2 clubs same time? Shomo, good question, because Mohammed Sporting, they're an owner, and East Bengal, they are on an executive board. It's not even, the East Bengal thing is not very, very clear, because there is no financial impact now, because they said he's put money into the women's team, but then others have said no. I think that someone needs to ask the question, because also they're saying that, that they've invested into the IFA. They're supposed to be bidding for rights for the I League and other things. They're all over the place. Someone needs to, again, and therefore for that you need a strong AIFF. You need a strong federation who then can ask questions. It's like, what is happening here and there, and that those questions are not being asked. I think that's the biggest drawback, I would say. And therefore, that's the reality. That's the reality, that this is actually homework for the federation. It was interesting that Shachi in between were even looking to buy an I League club. How do you manage to change your expectation from Indian players when you watch European football regularly? Sometimes it's really frustrating watching players take shots from 30-40 meters every 10 minutes. I have no expectations now from Indian football, to be honest. I went to the derby. When I was in Kolkata a few weeks ago, I just wanted to, soak in the atmosphere. I think that was more important to me. I didn't expect anything from the match, and it was football-wise, it was one of the worst derbies that I've seen in the recent past. But the atmosphere was, as long as it was 0-0, it was actually good from both sides. Huge compliment, I would have said, to the East Bengal fans, the way that they supported East Bengal and came out in numbers. But football-wise, I don't know. So therefore, that's the thing. And then again, European football, I watch local football as well. I don't really, I don't really bother about the standard of football. It's just that if I see, yesterday I was watching 6th division football here locally. Some of those boys have played up higher level football. In the opposing team, they won 5-1, and there was quality combinations. I saw some combinations from those players in the 6th tier of German football, which I most probably will never see in the ISL. So therefore, sometimes it doesn't matter what level of football you watch. Just enjoy it. And I've seen enough football in my life, and again, I work in the sport, so I don't get carried away. It's a direct conflict of interest if it allows this. Shoma, as I said, it's an AIFF matter, not an FSTL matter. All the clubs except Mohun Bagan should not play ISL. We all know how referees managed by a certain club. Again, Shumit, proof. If you have this allegation, prove it. Prove it. Because yesterday, Ahmed Chahu didn't get a card for his foul on Anirudh Thapa. The squad. So therefore, please guys, before you talk about this. East Bengal deserved the red card, but the pen was not given. To yellow card should have been given to Kasimov and Bora. Why all rules not got applied to Bengal and got applied to East Bengal? Not because they're not show bias. Football United. How do you say again? How do you prove that the referee was biased? Right? Again, Kasimov, Bora, could have been. In the end, I think, who was this? Nanda Kumar, who was hitting out at players. Lalchununga. Did he get a yellow card? For time wasting, play acting, there would have been here and there. If you want to go through, we can go through the whole game. You will find 15, 20 reasons to hand out more cards, right? And penalty, 50-50, not 100%. Sorry. Blaming referees is not the solution. The actual games are played under the AC rooms. And as a Mohun Bagan fan, I fully believe there's some kind of biasness against certain clubs. If you believe that, again, again, I can't argue against that, because you guys think you know. That's my problem. You think you know, you understand things, where I think, sorry to say that, you don't even know the basics of what happens in the background. If you think that football is so manageable, that's not. You're so far away from the truth. Another Nanda should get 2 red cards for the swinging and punching wanted in the face of Amajit. Harish Kundu was spot on both decisions. Nanda should get harsh penalty. It is MMA or football. Yeah, Kumar, I have a point. I agree with you. Worst decision of the season is homing pump penalty. Yeah, SD. So far, biggest blunder, 100%. I mean, no contact at all. I don't know. Why there should be less teams in ISL? Subhash, if I see the ISL, if I see the quality, the standards of teams, in my opinion, I think that with less teams, the quality of the ISL would be better. I think in an idea. And I said that a few years ago, certain people, they didn't like the thought. I said, listen, keep it 10, ensure that the standard improves, and then and then grow it. But that's not happening, right? We've grown now from 10 to 11 to 12 to 13. Next season most probably will grow to 14. I don't know if we've got the quality and the standard for 14 teams in the league. So that's something which we need to look at. So that's something. Because if I look at also the I League, the I League has also been diluted with 12, 13 teams. Do we have enough quality to have 25, 26 teams in the top 2 tiers of Indian football? And I don't think we have. Right, already over 36 minutes. Sorry, didn't even realize that, guys. If you might be new to the channel, you're liking what you're seeing, what you're hearing, do leave a like behind. 8 likes so far. Thank you very much, everyone. Share it to other people so they can join the conversations. Currently 1,923 subscribers. Thank you very, very much, everyone. 77 to go to reach the 2,000 mark. And spread the word and let's keep on growing the community. Kerala Blasters did not get a genuine pen, whereas Hyderabad FC got it, which was never a pen. The clubs or players speak against ref. They get penalized. Why not the refs get penalized for wrong decisions? Football United, how do you know they're not penalized? I mean, again, you are assuming that you know and understand how the system runs. And your comments clearly prove to me, sorry to say that so openly, you don't understand how the system works. And I think Trevor Kettle, as the chief referees officer yesterday, gave an interview to PTI where he clearly states, there are certain criteria that they have, and then certain referees who are doing better get more matches, and those who are not performing well get less matches. And if someone does really bad, he's taken off the roster for a certain period of time. That happens in India, that happens in the Premier League, that happens in the Bundesliga, that happens in the Champions League, that happens at World Cups, at Euro Cups, at Asian Cups. That's the rule. So therefore, yeah. And there is a way of speaking out against refs, right? You have to be smart, and just to blame game stuff never works. It backfires, because also referees sometimes, if there is a 50-50 decision, and you have been criticizing that particular referee, if there is a 50-50 decision, you never know if it plays in the back of his mind, say, you know what, no, not going to give it. I don't think it's going to happen. So there's a psychology also involved, which a lot of these guys who are involved in football clubs, who are top level coaches, who are managers, manage people, don't understand how it works. I don't see any action taken by AIFF still against Mohammed Sporting for their fans' violent act. Shoma, I don't know. I think it's gone to the AIFF disciplinary committee, and I think they will take a decision on the matter, if I'm right. How to rate Aladdin Azarai? SD, a revelation. Sorry. Great striker, sorry. And and I think a player who so far has set Indian shores on fire. And if he continues even close to this, I think he would be a record holder. The fact of the matter is that AIFF is an absolute federation run by politicians who tend to show us they care about football where they don't give an F about fans and football. Yeah, that's Football United. I couldn't speak more. You're right. But that doesn't mean that the other things that you are implying actually are right. So therefore, in my opinion, it doesn't work. There should be more investment like Saudi League in ISL for the growth of ISL. Yeah, Subhash, but who's going to do it? Again, this is something we've spoken about. Investment will not come, because for that, the whole system has to grow. And the system is not growing to that level. That's the challenge that we have at the moment. And it's not happening. At the moment, it's not happening. And therefore, that challenge remains to grow the ISL to the next level. But audience of ISL more than Saudi League. Subhash, that doesn't count. Look at the television numbers of the Saudi Pro League, even is broadcast in Europe. Owen Coyle, I do think a big addition we need is VR for a number of reasons. One, to help the referees. Two, to get things right. For me, it's all in for VR. Yeah, Mahesh. But again, yesterday, Spain, Barcelona, Hansi Flick, questions VR. Jürgen Klopp has done it. Pep's done it. In the Bundesliga, they've done it. Tuchel did it last season. There are different people having different discussions. And then once VAR is there and then they still do mistakes, then we have the discussion just moved. But people used to say 3-4 years ago that standard is low because players don't play enough games. So how will reducing the number of teams will help? RS, I'm not reducing the number of games. I would rather have 10 teams and let them play thrice against each other. I've got 27 games instead of now 26. So therefore, you have to try and figure out what is the best way to function, and that's the challenge, right? That's the challenge that you have. And in my opinion, at the moment, 13 teams are a few too many, in my opinion. I'm afraid VAR would call out decision which referees should see. Without VAR, end of the day, fans lose more respect for Indian refs. Yeah, Roshan, very interesting. Did you see the interview 420 grams with Ishfaq Ahmed? Roshan, yes, I've seen that. AIFF boss wife in certain club board. Yeah, Shuman, what do you want to say? That's your reason? That shows you, sorry, that is your reason for saying that they are biased towards, oh God, seriously, so far away from the answer of realities. Tete Amar in the Humans of Indian Football interview was saying in the interview that there should data how many games they are playing, which position they are playing. Okay. Kumar, data is a useful tool, but in my opinion, the most important thing is to get them to play, right? We are not playing enough football at the moment. That's, I think, the biggest challenge in Indian football. In EPL, Man City always gets referees' help, but still you have performed well enough to overcome such situations just like Liverpool. So my advice to East Bengal is to focus on gameplay. See, you know, so it's, again, everyone has his understanding, but yeah. Hi, Pujan. Good evening. Who, according to you, has been the best manager this season, considering the increased level of competition this season? Who stands out? I don't have a standout manager so far. If you ask me, you know, the Paris at Punjab might be an interesting one to look at. Benali has done well. Zaragoza has done well, but they've also had their blips, you know. That will help to predict the players' performance over season after season, though, through youth development. Yeah, season after season, but the question is, are they playing enough matches and what is the development? I have all the proof of Harish Kundu past decision. It's shown biasness of certain club. Yes, don't you think Monwell gets that benefit because she's on the board? No, she doesn't, Shuman. No, she doesn't. And that's just something, look at the mistakes. Again, if you want, as someone, as I support Mumbai City, I'll show you enough examples what he has been. If I want to, I can construct that. If I next day I'll do Chennai, I can construct your story. I can even go to Mohan Bagan. Yesterday, very simple example. Amit Joe didn't get a card for Thapa foul. Kumar, you have to cultivate data to get insights out of it. For that, AIFF need to organize regular leagues across all age groups and also regular national team games for junior teams. Yeah, Shoma, that's the biggest problem. That's our biggest problem at the moment. We don't have enough competitions going in, going out. And that's going to be, that is, and will be a problem. Right, guys, I actually have to end this live a little earlier than usual because I have to now head out. As you see, I'm a little dressed up. I'll put on a suit and have to go for an evening official gathering. I'll be back tomorrow with a proper full live. We can still talk about, you know, if you want to talk about referees, about the Indian national team, about other things. But one thing I can tell you, don't go down this route of calling out biasness of referees. It's not gonna help you because yeah, the referees sadly make mistakes, and if we think that VR is going to rectify all those mistakes, again, also Mr. Owen Coyle, I don't think that's happening. To me, that's the reality, and again, we see the discussions shifting from one side to another, and I think Pujan said something nice yesterday that in England they actually like that discussion. We have that in Germany as well. Sunday morning, a lot of these referee discussions are discussed, and we still have it because the VR is involved, and you know, yeah, Asian Cups sadly are decided by mistakes by referees. I think what the AIFF needs to work on, I hope they will do one day, try and educate the referee to the next level. We're struggling on that front, and that's something which is very, very important, and I hope we do that. Yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks, Shumit. Thanks, everybody else. Like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot will be back tomorrow night. Catch you then. Bye and good night.